I'll tell you now, if Gyokeres comes in, Havertz does better.
What do you mean?
If Gyokeres is to come in, Havertz will outscore him.
I'm not even going to talk about the striker. Did you hear about the Ekitite conversation? What's going on with that? Why are we now being linked to Ekitite?
I feel like everyone's linked to him. I know Liverpool were looking at him. I know Chelsea were looking at him.
Media talk, or are we for real?
I've got a feeling it's a bit of both. I think it's just one of those ones where we've probably spoken to him in case we can't get. I mean, the thing is, I think everything is media talk, and Sesco and Gyokeres are the real ones, because I think it's between the two on who we want to get, because it's evident that Berta wants to get Gyokeres and Sesco's want to buy Arteta, but it depends on which deal makes the most sense, because we clearly rate them both. So everything else, I think, is just negotiations.
Who do you want? Because I want Gyokeres.
I want Sesco.
Why do you want Sesco? Because majority of people do not want Sesco.
It's fine. I always sit in the minority camp. I understand that. And
why do you want
part of the reason is I don't do stat-based analysis. I kind of do want to see the profile and how he fits into the team. I get people's point. He's put the ball in the back of the net, but my concern is how he's done it. His putting in the back of the net isn't something we can provide to him. And he doesn't have, we can't platform him in the best manner. I think he suits a Liverpool more. He suits a United more. He suits that kind of system a lot better than he would suit us. I don't even think Gyokeres does well at City. So
couldn't you make a case and say, if a player's good enough, they can suit any system?
No. That's horseshit.
Look at how
are you playing Rodrigo in a transitional system when he doesn't have any pace? He's not a quick player. He's good enough, but he doesn't have the pace. And Nico Williams suits a transitional system. So that's what I'm trying to say. There's certain attributes they just don't have. So for me, like the reason why I'm saying a Sesco more is because when you look at what we like is unlocking low blocks. We like against the smaller clubs. And for me, Sesco unlocks them better than a Gyokeres as well, because of the variety of different ways that Sesco has scored goals, suits us more, and what we need to kind of challenge for than a Gyokeres. Gyokeres doesn't solve the problem, in my opinion. I think he just is another solution to the problem we never had.
Gyokeres is 2-footed. He can finish in tight spaces, and if you give him the ball in the final third, he's burying it.
Yeah, but Sesco can do more than that, though, and we've evidently seen it.
We've not seen
more of an aerial threat.
We've not seen Sesco on a consistent basis finish multiple chances in the box. He's not.
Yeah, but that's Sesco
has not been asked to be in the box striker.
Yeah, but then we've not seen Gyokeres actually score against low blocks and against good defenders.
Yeah, we have. We've seen him against multiple
penalties against Portugal. Yeah, Portugal. Portugal, by the way, statistically has the worst defense.
What about in the championship?
Yes, he scored penalties against City. Even if you speak to City, by the way, if you speak to City fans, they'll actually tell you he didn't even have that good of a game.
Yeah, I know.
So it's a non-argument. It's a non-argument. People are looking.
He played against us. He gave us one threat.
Yeah, and
I'm not gonna lie to you. I want Gyokeres because of the sheer amount of goals he scored over the last 2 years.
Darwin Núñez scored loads of goals. Do we want him?
No, but Darwin Núñez scored 40-something goals over 2 seasons. Man scored 50 in
Felix also scored a lot of goals in that league. Should we go sign him?
Okay.
Antonio Silva did. Fabio Silva did.
One second. He's 26 years old. He's 2-footed. He's a better passer than Sesco also. Don't forget that. In the final third, he's a much better passer.
Maybe, but you don't. Yeah, have you seen the kind of passes Sesco has to make? There's a big difference. You can't do stat-based analysis. You've got to watch them both.
I've watched over multiple hours of content on both. And in my opinion, Sesco is going to offer us, yes, he's going to offer us a much higher variety of goals. And yes, there's a lot of work that still needs to be done with Sesco to make sure he becomes a more complete player. I think Gyokeres, what he offers us right now, is a ready-made player who can come in and at least get you minimum 14 to 15 plus goals in the league. Whereas Sesco, I don't know if he's going to reach that. And at times, I don't know if he's even going to usurp Havertz.
I'll tell you now, if Gyokeres comes in, Havertz does better.
What do you mean?
If Gyokeres is to come in, Havertz will outscore him.
Based on what?
I'm telling you, he's not. I think people do massively overrate him. If you look, statistically, if you people want to do stat-based analysis, let's do it. Statistically, Portuguese league is the worst defensive league out of any of the top 10 leagues.
1 second. Shout out to
It's the
Super Chat.
weakest.
Egal, big bro. Is Arsenal coming second again? Hopefully we do not. Thank you for the Super Chat, though. Zed comes in and says, Arteta, please free this guy from your basement. Funny Super Chat. Okay, let's come back to it. Bro, yes, the Portuguese league statistically is actually worse than the Brazilian league, worse than some of these other leagues in the world. He's done it in the championship also, don't forget that, right?
Yeah, his numbers in the championship are better than Sesco, though.
He's done it in the Champions League also. He's done it in the Champions League also. Sesco is 22 years old. He's younger. He has higher potential, and he could become a better player. Yes, he's better aerially, but what I like about Gyokeres is very simple. He is a player who, in the final third, you get him the ball, he's going to finish. He's going to finish his dinner. He is a player who, in the final third, if given the ball in the final third, will make what's necessary to get the chance, get it off, and get a goal. What we've lacked over the last couple of years is finishers in the final third. He is a clinical finisher. Sesco, on the other hand, he does have a high XG, but that's because the type of goals he's taking are from outside the box. He's taking shots with high difficulty in scoring them. Although I rate that, I don't think it will translate as easy as just getting the ball to somebody in the final third and getting them to score. The man is a in the box goal scorer. He not only is he good in the box goal scorer, he also is good at laying off good passes to his teammates to get them goals also. He's somebody who's a scrapper. He will get second and third chances on his own from his first shot. He's a dog fighter. He gets goals no matter what, and he will continue to fight for the second, third chance in the box. Where some people, they get their shot blocked, they start grabbing their head, they start giving up on the play. Gyokeres doesn't give up on the play. He continues to go for every single time. Now, some of these things are characteristic traits, but one thing that worries me the most about Sesko Gyokeres comparison, mentality. I've heard on numerous occasions that Sesco might view Arsenal as a stepping stone. Sesco might not be sure that Arsenal might be the best fit for him right now because he's questioning if he can overtake Havertz, where Gyokeres has been told, if you're going to come to Arsenal, what do you want? He's like, I want the number 9 shirt. By the end of the season, I'll definitely be taking that job. By the end of the year, I'll definitely be taking that job over and I'll be the number 1 guy. So when you hear stuff like that, it just tells me characteristics-wise, I worry. Signing Sesco, who's younger,
yeah, but that's all
doesn't seem to have the same
we've
level
also
of
heard, like, a lot of journalists say that was all horseshit. None of that was actually said. None of the release clause stuff.
No. What was true is
last year
he was unsure. Last year he was unsure if he could overtake Havertz.
It's not about whether he can overtake Havertz. It's whether he can have enough game opportunity to develop. He's a young player. He has to be playing. There's a big difference. That's not a mentality.
We're not here to develop. We're here to win.
And he can now because he's had the opportunity to develop. The same things that we're talking about is the same things we're talking about.
He stagnated last year. He did not develop to a better level. He stagnated at the same level.
Because he had a different role to play. There's a big difference. This is what I'm saying. People don't watch. He was playing as a secondary striker. There's a big difference. If he's the main striker, every time he played as a main striker, you saw his quality.
He scored
a bag of goals.
He was never the main striker for majority of those games.
When he did play, he had played in a single striker role as well. He played in both. He had a secondary striker role where he was more of a supporter. But then when he actually played further up and he played as a singular striker, that's when he started bagging his goals. There is no issues in my mind. Because if we want to do stat-based analysis, why are we going for Rodrigo? Martinelli's not even far off him. He's not going to improve.
Rodrigo's a much better player than...
No, he's not. Statistically, if we're looking at stats, he's not a better player. Martinelli basically has the same numbers as him. So this is why I'm saying, if you want to do stat-based analysis, keep it. If we're going to keep it consistent, why are we signing Rodrigo for 90 million euros when he's barely better statistically than Martinelli is?
Because he has.
This is why you can't do stat-based analysis and base your entire form of your opinion based on just the stats alone, because it doesn't make any sense.
No, but I also based it off character, based off what we've heard.
Yes, and Sesco's character is fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
Nah, from what I heard, Sesco is questioning if he can develop at Arsenal, and he's also
No, whether there be development opportunities for him.
where Gyokeres is saying, "I'm that guy now." You do need at this level of football, you do need a level of confidence where you can get yourself to where you need to, because all the top players have a level of confidence in themselves where I have not seen that yet.
Also, how do we, it's agent talk? It's nothing to do with Sesko himself.
Hey, if you're confident in your skills, you come to the club and you don't necessarily worry about who's ahead of you.
Well, how do we know it's not Sesko stopping it, but his entourage? Because at the end of the day, you do take the advice of players as well. Sometimes the advice of your club isn't always the right thing to do. Mudryk went to Chelsea and he regressed. Sometimes you do regress. Like a lot of players have gone into these clubs too early, and that's not a bad. Like sometimes
I also
view a bad thing.
I view Sesco as a project where I don't view Gyokeres as a project. I view him as more of closer to the
Gyokeres just isn't a trust. I mean, look, I hope he comes in and I hope he proves me wrong, but don't be surprised if he turns out to be another Portuguese flop.
Why would he be a flop when he's outperforming every metric from a former Portuguese player, in Portuguese league player?
Because he's barely that far off. Like most of the players are. By the way, like no one thought João Felix would be that shit. No one thought Darwin Núñez would come in. A lot of people are saying Darwin Núñez would outperform Haaland. So let's not rewrite history. Like a lot of people were saying this, even in the Community Shield, they said Darwin Núñez would outscore Haaland. What happened?
Gyokeres was going for the golden boot in a league where his goals counted as 1.5.
What do you mean?
That in itself goes to show you that how good he is.
Yes, he's done it in a stupidly easy league.
And he was still outscoring some of the best in Europe. His goals counted for less, and he still was up there with some of the best.
Yes, he's in a fucking easy league, though.
Yes, the top 10.
A lot of attackers have done really well in
the top 10 of the Portuguese league are not easy. It's the bottom half. That's the problem.
No, most of that league
no.
is easy.
The bottom half of the Portuguese league is the weak part. The top 10 of the Portuguese league.
Have you seen some of the clown defending, even from the top 10?
Bro,
the half of them are clowns.
The Portuguese league have at least 4 teams that are better than majority of the teams in the Premier League. The thing is, the rest of
Benfica,
the rest of the bottom 10,
Lisbon,
the standard of the bottom 10 is not that good. But yeah. Anyways.
No, the majority of that league standard isn't good.
Long story short, you're not going to change your opinion on Gyokeres and Sesco. I'm not either. I'm going to stick to my guns. I think regardless.
No, but then you have.
Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and leave a comment down below what you thought of that video you just watched. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and leave a comment down below what you thought of that video you just watched.